It's the Wait a Minute Show.
Bruh, ain't that right, Lil Pan? Wait a minute. Book it. Really? Really?
The Wait a Minute Show with your host, Jolani J.B. Bodie.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Your boy is back. It's a new year. 2023 has started. We're getting stuff in the books, man. So we're back for more sports content given to you from the Wait a Minute Show. But before I go any further, let me just say, because I've been messing a little bit, right? A little busy with the toy drive. Thank you to everyone at the toy drive once again. It was a success. For those who don't know, we raised over $3,000 and sponsored a boatload of kids, 40 kids that we sponsored. So I just want to make sure that we put that out there and everybody remember that. And also a thank you to everyone once again. So it is a new year. Hopefully you've had a good start to your new year, ladies and gentlemen. My humble co-host, Lopan, he kind of started off, quite well. Lopan, tell him what's up. So Lopan is ready to go, as he always is for this show. I'm ready to go. Hopefully you're ready to go. So we got a lot of stuff to talk about. We're going to get into the NFL and Hall of Fame. Finalists have been announced. We got some first-time eligible players to discuss. John Morant, speaking about, how he feel things are going on in the West. He feel fine. He said, I'm fine with what's going on in the West. So we'll talk about that. We're going to get into some playoff games as well. We know we got some going on today on Saturday, but we also got some games that are going to be going on Sunday for playoff implications, if you will. So we got a bunch of other stuff, but I really want to start this thing off. Everyone has been talking about it, and I'm going to talk about it as well, and that is this kid, Demar Hamlin, right? So just like you, I sat there and watched that game and saw what transpired, and obviously your heart just sunk and you got down, for what was going on. And the great thing, about it, with with love, with prayer, with the medical team and just everybody coming together. The news has come out over the past few days is that he's better. They've taken the tube out. He's actually has spoken to his teammates in a brief video through, I think, FaceTime or something like that. But he was able to speak to the team, which does volumes, because obviously you saw what transpired in that video, that it really, really, really affected the players, right? And it affected us. It affected me. And just to see something like that to happen is something that you definitely don't want to ever see, happen to anyone from this. So, but this guy's a fighter. I expected him to, make a recovery. He's doing well, according to doctors. Football, we don't even need to talk about whether he's played football or not or anything, because it's not important. It's irrelevant, at this point. But I just really want to also just point out to make sure that people understand. And it shouldn't take this type of event happening for that to be prevalent. But just remember, Ryan Clark talked about this the night that it happened. But these are human beings. They play a game that's violent, but these are human beings. And things like this, but just things in life happens. When you make it to professional sports, it does not absolve you from life happenings, life events, and things that happen. So they're dealing with the same things that we're dealing with. It's just different. They're on TV, right? And then they, get criticized for, certain things. So just remember that, is that these guys are human. These ladies, are human, that's out there, and they're just doing the job. They're out there, trying to entertain us. But Demar Hamlin, man, it was, like I said, I expected, I was scared. I expected him, to start, coming back on the positive side, as he is now. He is going to be forever going forward, going to be a household name to the sporting community. And also he's a household name to people outside because now people know, about him. They know about who he is. They know about his cause, which, he's received, millions of dollars in donations, which is awesome, on this. So I'm still, hoping and putting out positive vibes for the continuation of him being better. There still is a road. This is not the end of it, but hey, the guy is a fighter. They said Coach Sean McDermott said that he gave the flex for his teammates. So we expect everything and all this positivity just continue for Damar out there. So great news over the week for that information to be put out. So we are ecstatic and excited about that as well. Me and Lopan.
Indeed.
Yes, Lopan. So we're gonna move on. There's no real kind of way of moving on from that, but it's just great news, and continue to get better, out there. But we're gonna move on to. It's a little bit early, but it's playoff time. It's basically playoff time, right? It's week 18, but we're going to talk about my 3-pack, NFL 3-pack for this week in week 18 of the NFL. And it ain't got nothing to do with what game looked good and not. This is all about playoff implications, right? Playoff implications. That's all we're going to be talking about is teams with playoff implications. And there's a bunch of teams that's still out there. Miami is still in it. The Steelers. I think even the Patriots might be in there. But we're going to talk about 3 games also that's going to have an effect. And the first one is going on Saturday, which is for the AFC crown, division title, right? It's going to be the Tennessee Titans going down to Duval to see the Jacksonville Jaguars. And basically a win and end game. Winner gets the division, winner gets into the playoffs. Can't be any simpler than that, right? So you got a team in the Tennessee Titans where we saw, they started out, fairly good to start the week or start the game off against the Cowboys in the first half, but started sputtering along. But we all know they were gearing up for this game against Jacksonville because the game against Dallas didn't mean anything at that point. Derrick Henry was not there. Guess what? Henry back. Henry here. Henry will be in the building for this game. You're going to have Joshua Dobbs that's going to be starting this game, which I think, considering the situation that they put him in, he did a pretty good job against the Dallas Cowboys. Now, it's not going to be a easy feat going against a Jaguars team who has won 5 of their last 6 games, right? I talked about the Jacksonville Jaguars at the beginning of the season, right? And before the beginning of the season, I said I expected the Jacksonville Jaguars, I expected Trevor Lawrence to be the guy that everyone thought he was going to be because the distractions are gone, right? And that's exactly what has happened these past, month and a half is that Trevor Lawrence is caught on. I think that sophomore year where you're waiting for, your franchise player to kind of take that next step. He's in that. Got a team that believes. You got a coach that the team believes in. This is going to be a good game because Mike Vrabel, I'm going back to the Titans. Speaking of believing, Mike Vrabel has those guys believing, and they're still in this, despite not having Derrick Henry, despite going through games without Ryan Tannehill, and I mean Derrick Henry, in previous games. So this is going to be a good game because you got 2 teams that respects their coaches, plays very well and plays very hard for their coaches, and they believe themselves. Tennessee was just the number 1 overall seed in the AFC last year. So obviously they're thinking that they should be there. Jacksonville is just saying, look, we finally hit stride. We are, what we thought we were going to be. So I think in this game though, man, I think Jacksonville really, really, really is in that zone, right? And I think Trevor Lawrence is going to be able to overcome and get around or get through any obstacle that's going to be set before him in this game, right? He's had success high school, he's had success in college, he's had success now recently in the pros, and I think that's going to continue. So I'm going to go with the Jacksonville Jaguars to take that game, win the division, and get into the playoffs, which is going to be a real exciting team to see. The next up is Seattle and the Los Angeles Rams. Right now, I know you're thinking like, well, the Rams, they're sorry. They record is sorry. Yeah, you're right about that. And it didn't go the way that they thought it would go. But as of recently, and they've messed up my Lions draft pick because I thought they'd be losing games earlier than that so that my Lions could, have a better draft pick. But I digress. As of lately, they've been playing, fairly well, especially with Baker Mayfield there. Guys have been stepping up. Cam Akers has stepped up. So this is not going to be an easy win or easy game for the Seattle Seahawks. Geno Smith, Pro Bowl Smith is what I call him because he didn't write back. He will have something to say about this game. You got Kenneth Walker, you got DK still in this, so you got peace on the both sides. And more than anything is that the Rams, and someone else said this, I forgot who said it, but it was very important. It didn't come from me, but they're the defending Super Bowl champs right now, right? They're defending champs. You still, regardless, you're not going to be the champs after this, but you still want to go out on a good note. You're playing against a divisional foe. You still got something to play for. You know what? You tell your team, hey, we not going. Yeah. So they ain't going either, right? So you got something to play for in that. Bobby Wagner is on this LA team, so obviously he's probably looking at, I would love to send them home and not be able to make the playoffs. Now, there's a lot more that's involved in them making the playoffs later on in the game, and we're going to talk about that in just a moment. But I as crazy as it sounds, I think Baker Mayfield and the Rams and Sean McVay, they figure it out and they get the performance that they've probably been looking for a while, and they beat Seattle. Dare I say, the game now comes down to our third game that I said that we should be watching as a 3-pack. Yeah, I'm a little biased, but here where we are. Sunday Night Football, right? Seattle has lost. Detroit and Green Bay are battling to go to the playoffs, right? It comes down to this between my Detroit Lions and the Green Bay Packers. Now, this is still, and I'm going to give you a different scenario because I know you're going to be like, well, Jelani, you trying to, pump up your team. Let's just say Seattle wins, right? Now, Seattle is in. But if Green Bay wins, Green Bay is in. So this is still a monumental game for the Lions regardless, because this is a game where you've beat the Packers earlier this year. You beat them at home. You've had trouble beating them on the road. Deshaun Elliott has talked about Aaron Rodgers not respecting the Detroit Lions and everything. Yeah, I truly believe that. I do believe Aaron Rodgers is looking at like, I am not going to let the Detroit Lions in our season, right? So is he taking the Lions lightly? No. But maybe he's not giving them the full respect that they deserve. But at the end of the day, Detroit is going to be playing for something. They're either going to be playing to get into the playoffs or they're going to be playing to be spoiler to the Packers. So they got a lot to play for regardless of what happens in that Seattle game, even if it doesn't go in their favor, right? So this game comes down really to a hot Green Bay team. And the Lions have been playing well. They had a stinker there a couple weeks ago against the Carolina Panthers. But I've said this, and I'll say it again, and I'll say it right here. Nobody wants to play the Detroit Lions in the playoffs. So I think the NFL is really, in the NFC, is just like they hoping Green Bay wins this game, right? Green Bay has every opportunity and every reasonable measure to win this game, right? You got A.J. Dillon. You got Aaron Jones. So you got a nice 1-2 punch. Where it's going to come into play for Green Bay is going to be if Christian Watson and Aaron Rodgers, if they can connect, we've seen the damage they're able to do because they're on big plays. That opens up for Allen Lazard, it opens up for Ryan Tanyan, and it opens up for that running game. But if it is just solely put on one wide receiver, and that would be, Allen Lazard, the Detroit Lions are going to be, I think, in somewhat of a favorite position because Green Bay's defense is really good. Rasul Douglas, Jair Alexander, the job that Jair Alexander did last week on Justin Jefferson, amazing, right? So I'm giving the Green Bay Packers credit where credit is due. But Detroit, here's the thing about Detroit. We know that they can score points. They are going to need their defense, right? They're going to need the best defensive performance that they've had all season Sunday night, right? They know that. They know that the world is watching. They know that no one believes. They know everyone's like, you got freaking Jared Goff? Really? They know all of that, right? But you got some dogs on that other side of that team. You got guys like Williams. Swift is going to have to be effective. If Swift can be effective, this is going to change the whole magnitude because then you keep Aaron Rodgers off the field. They got their own 1-2 punch. So, having said all that, I think both teams, this is not going to be a blowout or anything like that. But I'm going with the Detroit Lions, man. This is their time. This is their moment to finally, say to people that's been laughing at the Lions and laughing at me like Lopan always laughing at me as well.
Indeed.
This is the opportunity to show everyone all that stuff that happened during the season. We learned from it, and we are here, and we are a problem, right? So I'm going to go with the Lions on this by 3 points. I think they win by another close game like they did previously this season. So my picks are who's playing Jacksonville over the Titans. I got the Rams over Seattle, and then I'm going to take my Detroit Lions over the Green Bay Packers. So we'll see if I'm right about that. So tons of other games. You see the ticker that's going on down there. Tons of other games to check out, man. Y'all check those out. Enjoy week 18 because then we'll be talking playoff talk after that and everybody that's in the playoffs. So hopefully I'm right about one of those picks. I'm talking about the last one. But when we come back, we're going to take a break right now. But when we come back, we'll get into some more NBA. We'll get into some NBA news, but we'll also get back to some football news as well. It's the Wait a Minute Show. We'll be back. Lopan, take us to the break.
Do you want your next Atlanta event to be memorable? If so, have Drinking Color at your next function. Drinking Color is sophisticated bartending that creates signature cocktails for your special occasion. Wow your family, friends, and business associates next time with Drinking Color. You can contact the owner, Kiki Lewis, at 678-813-7102. That's 678-813-7102. You can also email her at drinkandcolor@gmail.com and follow on Instagram at drinkandcolor. And tell her you were referred by the Wait a Minute Show. Drinking Color, cocktail catering. Let the cocktail sparkle at your next event.
In these times and days, car prices are through the roof. Want to know how to beat the dealerships? Preserve that car of yours by visiting Melvin of Bay 11 Auto. Melvin is honest, dependable, and the all-important affordable. Got a domestic car? Come and see Melvin. Got a foreign car? Come and see Melvin. Don't know what kind of car you have? No problem. Come and see Melvin. Call Bay 11 Auto in Conyers, Georgia at 404-295-5715. Again, that's Melvin of Bay 11 Auto, Conyers, Georgia, 404-295-5715.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. And I always say you're listening because I haven't gotten this audio podcast out of my head yet. But I do know you're watching.
It's the Wait a Minute Show.
Here on the YouTube channel. So make sure, if you haven't already, like, subscribe, to the channel as well, so you get all the good information and notifications as well when we go live or we do a show every time. Now, we got another game on our hand, championship game, right? I was really hoping I was going to say my Michigan Wolverines, but nope. Give up 51 points, and that's what happens. So it is TCU versus Georgia for the Natty, right? Coming up this Monday. I still think that's going to be a really good game, right? TCU has shown time in and time out this year that they are a team to be reckoned with. And that's what you want. That's what you want, right? I think a lot of people kind of worry about, maybe smaller schools, the schools not from this, the SEC powerhouse, SEC and all this stuff, that you're not going to get a good game. You're going to get a good game, right? Georgia took the best that Ohio State could give them, and that came down to the wire. And TCU proved everybody wrong again by putting up 51 points on Michigan at this point. So I think on both sides, Georgia has shown that they can handle a team that puts them in a compromising position, and TCU has say, what some teams, strengths have been, we made it a weakness, for them. So you got this kid, Max Duggan, if hopefully I'm saying his name right. He has it. And it doesn't matter, if he's playing on Sundays or anything. No, we're talking about college football right now. He just has it. And there's something to be said when you have it, especially at the quarterback position. Fearless, doesn't worry. They've been in plenty of tight games. They've played plenty of top teams, so they're not going to be scared. He's not going to be, a deer in headlights in this moment. The moment is not going to be too big, for him. Georgia on the other side, look, they're trying to erase the name of the Alabama Crimson Tide. Yes, because Alabama has been the talk of the town in the SEC, and Georgia has had their opportunity, and they came close, and then they won last year, and now winning back-to-back. This will definitely solidify the Bulldogs in this conference, but also just in college football. And this is going to even continue the process, because they're trying to change the narrative. They're trying to say, you know what? If you really want to get down, you really want to do some things here, come and see Georgia. That's what they're at. Stetson Bennett struggled a little bit, in that game. Still got the job done. At the end of the day, if you get the job done, ain't nobody, talking about what happened, right? So I do believe that we're going to have an excellent game on our hand. I think they're more evenly matched than people may give them credit for. Looking at, the teams and the rankings and all that stuff. Yeah, the rankings said they're, but as far as like people perception, I don't think people think TCU is ready to play Georgia, but I honestly do, right? How they're going to do that? I think the run game. I do think to beat Georgia. Now we saw how Ohio State just threw the ball all over Georgia in that last game, but you had Marvin Harrison Jr. and a bunch of the high power wide receiver group. I'm not gonna say that TCU's wide receiver group is to the level of Ohio State's. So that's why I'm not saying. That's why I'm saying you got to run the ball, impose your will, slow down Georgia, and try and play smash mouth football. With it, and then you'll take your shots. Your shots will be there to go up the field or go down the field, on it. So that's just my little input. But Georgia, look, you taking everybody's shot. You taking everybody's best punch. This is, the opportunity for them to put 2 and 2 together, and it becomes 4, not 3.8, 3.9, and you'd be like, all right, we almost got there. on it. So they got their own, threats. You got this kid, Bowser, that they talk about, and well, let me say this: you got Kirby Smart too, right? You got the coach. So that's going to be a big change, or a big portion of the game of how do they make any halftime adjustments or just adjustments in game. But I'm looking forward to it. You better stay up. You better watch it, because if you don't, I think you're gonna miss out on a heck of a game. So I gotta pick somebody. I'm here in Georgia. I hope I don't get visited by DGSB, but for those who don't know, that's down south Georgia boys. But I'm gonna go with TCU. I'd say TCU, the upset, if you will. I'm gonna say TCU shocks the world, man, and in a close one. It comes back down to 7 points or less, and TCU wins this game. If Georgia wins, of course, I'm not surprised, but I'm gonna roll with TCU in this. So I got it, stamped on here. I got it, I guess, out there for the record. So hey, if I'm right, Mattress Mac is putting 1.5 mil on TCU. So if Mattress Mac can put 1.5, I can put about $1.50 or something like that.
Indeed.
Yeah, low pen, $1.50, something like that. But TCU, that's what I'm gonna go with. So TCU, Georgia, watch that game, man. Another game. It's the game of trash talk, if you will, or just maybe not trash talk, but not trash talk. Confident talk. How about that? Confident talk. So Ja Morant, Memphis Grizzlies, and Draymond Green, Golden State Warriors. The teams have been going back and forth for what, the past 2 years, I want to say now, because Clay had something to say, and it's just two teams that's on everybody's radar, or on each other's radar, right? And the last comment lately was that Ja Morant made a reference when asked about, basically he was asked, who he feel that he got to worry about in the NBA, and he stated that it was the Celtics. Said he was fine. I was fine. He fine in the Western Conference. So obviously that's going to get the eye of the Golden State Warriors, because they're like, hey, we're kind of the champs. We're just a little bit, we did win the championship. So you really got to kind of worry about us as well. I love it. And here's the thing. Ja Morant and Draymond said it on his podcast. He just said that you have to have that mentality for your guys to believe. Now, Draymond thinking like, okay, Ja believes a little bit too hard, but you have to, right? Quick story real quick. I saw this story about, now of course it's not apples to apples, but DMX, they were in another country, him and his folks or whatever, and they got into, a predicament that they didn't even know really what it was. A dangerous predicament. All right. So DMX is obviously the leader of that group. If DMX was shook, come on now. If DMX is like, how's that going to make everybody else feel? Right? You're looking like, whoa, DMX is having concerns. So same thing, Ja Morant. Yeah, can't be no concerns, because I'm going to need all of y'all, Bane, all of y'all, everybody, Stephen, all of you. Wait a minute, Stephen Adams on this team? But I'm going to need all of y'all, everybody. And to do that, everybody has to believe. Even the coaches has to believe. If there's one inkling that does not believe, that's going to be a weakness. And that's going to be a weakness that the Golden State Warriors try to, if they see them in the playoffs, that they're going to try to expose, right? You have to go in there believing that. Now, I do believe Ja believes it, but he knows he has to worry about the Warriors and a few other teams, in the Western Conference, right? yeah, they're one of the top, top seeds that's in there. We're going to talk about seeding here in just a moment. But yeah, don't get too crazy. But I understand what he's doing, right? If your team don't believe, if you don't believe, how's your team going to believe, right? So I'm hoping that they actually see each other in the playoffs. I love it. I love them going back and forth. I love Clay and his comments. I love Draymond and his comments. Steph is going to be the silent assassin. He going to probably be out there, sleeping and everything. So I myself enjoy it, and I respect it, right? Because no one's going to give you the title, right? No one's gonna, and Lopan, he's pulling it up on my screen here, but no one's gonna give you the title. No one's going to say, hey, you know what? Y'all are top dog. No one is gonna do that. So you gotta come and take it. And that's the only way that you can take it, is let people know I'm here. I'm here to take this. And if you don't like it, I don't care. I'm still gonna come here and take it. And if you're the Golden State Warriors, it's the same thing. Hey, you got to come and take this, bro. We're not just going to let you have this, right? So that's going to keep going on and on and on, regardless, in between those two. And I love it. Like I said, I love it. So that moves us into talking about the NBA and where all the teams are. So, we're not going to cover all the standings, and all this stuff. But teams are not where we thought they would be. Teams have been struggling. There are some surprise teams, on here. There's one team that I would say, as far as like right now, that I'm looking at, that I'm like, okay, yeah, that's where they're supposed to be, right? And I'm going to say this too, because this is right now, this is that time where everyone's getting ready to vie for that run that they're about to push. Because All-Star weekend is what? A little bit over a month away. And then when that happens, that's when everybody start gearing up and you start really, really, really pushing the button and putting your foot on the gas to try and position yourself in the NBA. So right now, the only team that I'm like, okay, they're exactly where they're supposed to be is the Boston Celtics, right? I thought they were, I got them getting back to the NBA Finals. Right now, they sit currently first in the Eastern Conference. So I'm not surprised by that. Now, I am surprised that Philadelphia is further behind them, because I thought they would be in that 2 and 3 spot right now, but they're sitting at the 5th spot. So Brooklyn, Milwaukee, Cleveland, Philly, and then the Knicks, right? So those are your top 6 teams right now. Pacers, Heat, Bulls, and then Hawks rounds out the top 10. So we've seen this before. We've seen where Chicago got off to a heck of a start to start the season off or whatever, and then they kind of tailed off a little bit, and then you've seen some of these other teams push up. So that's what I'm really going to be expecting. I do think, the top 4, when it's all said and done, is going to be probably Boston. I think Miami. I think Miami is really going to, make a push strong. So Boston, Miami, Milwaukee, and then that last one, it's between Brooklyn and Cleveland. Brooklyn and Cleveland. I think Brooklyn. I'll say that. And the only favorite that I like I said, really coming out of there is the Boston Celtics right now. In the Western Conference, Pelicans have been doing pretty well, at the early part of the season. They slowed down just a little bit. They're sitting third right now. That's going to be a cause of concern too, because Zion is supposed to be out the next 3 weeks for the Pelicans. So that's going to hurt the team. But I think more than anything, it's just like we just got to hold it down until Zion gets back, because it puts them back in the mix. It puts them back in the conversation, because they was a playoff team last year without Zion. So that's definitely something that is encouraging. But the Nuggets is sitting at 1. Jokic, Murray, another person. They didn't have Murray last year, so he's back. He's helping out this team. So the Nuggets are sitting at 1. Memphis is at that 2 spot. Pelicans at 3, Dallas 4. I think maybe some people might be surprised that the Kings, I think I am, are sitting at 5, but Mike Brown has been doing an excellent job there. And Golden State sits at 6. You got Clippers, Portland, Suns, and Utah rounding out the top 10. Utah started out strong, but that's kind of tailed off. So I do think, to me, there's not one team. If I had anybody, I would have said the Warriors being in that number 1 spot, but they're not. They're actually, like I said, they're 6. So other than them, it's anybody's in the West, right? I know Ja is saying what he's saying, but I mean the Nuggets are a really top to bottom team, tight. I know you got to expect the Suns to make a run. The Clippers when Kawhi and what's my man name? Kawhi and PG. I remember his name when him and Paul George get back in the mix and start playing. So as time goes on, it's going to get stronger and stronger. So no, there's only one team, Boston. But this is going to be a free for all in the Western Conference between these top 6, 7, 8 teams. They're gonna battle it out, and they're gonna be going to the end of the season, right? The end of the season. You're gonna have some teams that will, separate themselves, but no surprise there, right? So NBA, it's really gonna pick. Like I said, it's gonna pick up and it's gonna get crazy here in a moment. And speaking of crazy, we're gonna get crazy and take a break, and then when we get back, Hall of Fame, Jadeveon Clowney, and I got a Big L award for y'all. Y'all not gonna believe this, right? We'll be back.
Do you like making an impression? Who doesn't? Well, when you want to dress to impress for less, check out Rail Scott at Prime Ties to Go on Facebook and Instagram. Quality accessories for men and women at low, counted low prices. Everything from ties, bow ties, watches, bracelet, earrings to pocketbooks. Don't miss out. Check out Rail Scott, the owner, at Prime Ties to Go. That's Prime Ties, the number 2, Go on Facebook and Instagram.
Do you want your next Atlanta event to be memorable? If so, have Drinking Color at your next function. Drinking Color is sophisticated bartending that creates signature cocktails for your special occasion. Wow your family, friends, and business associates next time with Drinking Color. You can contact the owner, Kiki Lewis, at 678-813-7102. That's 678-813-7102. You can also email her at drinkincolor@gmail.com and follow on Instagram at drinkincolor. And tell her you were referred by the Wait a Minute Show. Drinking Color, cocktail catering. Let the cocktail sparkle at your next event.
He's the brain of operations.
I'm telling you right now, book it!
And him, he's along for the ride.
Indeed.
But together, they bring you sports like you've never heard before. The Wait a Minute Show, a new way of discussing today's trending sports topics. And now, back to the show with your host, Jolani J.B. Bodie.
Indeed.
Indeed, Lopan. Indeed. So we are back, and let's just get into it, right? Jadeveon Clowney, right? Jadeveon Clowney, I guess now we can say former defensive end. I know the season is not over, but let's just say former defensive end of the Cleveland Browns in the news for making comments in relation to the team about basically he's not going to be back, right? It said basically comments about how Myles Garrett, they trying to make him a Hall of Famer. They not putting, they not really concerned, I guess, about what Jadeveon is doing or trying to do this season. So the Browns have went ahead and sent him home. He's been ruled out for this last regular season game. I think it is safe to say that he's not going to be back, but I'm totally lost at the timing of it, or just in general, but definitely the timing of it right now. This is the last game of the season. Why say anything publicly at this point? You finish up that last game, or you go to the organization and you just tell them straight up, look, this is not working. I'm not gonna fit, rule me out, whatever. Because obviously saying these things you couldn't possibly have thought that they were going to let you play. So just go to the team and just tell them, look, this thing is not working out. Y'all got y'all, agenda. Y'all got whatever it is that y'all want to do. It doesn't involve me. So the best thing, man, is for me to just go ahead, go away. I'll go somewhere else. Y'all go and do y'all thing, and we move forward amicably, right? But with something, to me, what I feel that this does though is that you're going to be looking for another deal, and if you're looking for another deal, because this is I think he did a 1 year the previous year and did a 1 year this year, so you're obviously going to be looking at something more long term. You're not going to be looking at doing another 1 year deal. So if you did a 1 year deal this year with Cleveland, and I assume that you probably wasn't finding, the suitors that you wanted, or maybe the deal that you wanted, and you just said, you know what, I'm going to bank on myself and go 1 more year. That's my assumption. So making these comments, how is that going to help in the future with another team that you're wanting to say? Because I definitely believe Jadeveon Clowney doesn't want to come in and say, give me another 1 year deal. He wants a longer deal. So it's just like, hey, you couldn't just last one more game, just saying, you know what, I'm just going to play this game out, or just go behind the scenes and just say, hey, I'm going to go ahead and sit this one out. I don't think that's a good look. Just my opinion. I could be wrong, but I just don't think that's a good look. Finish out the season. You went this far. You pretty much finished the season. I don't know. I'm lost, but he ain't gonna be there, right? So he's done playing there. He'll be somewhere else, but I just think, for the what he's probably gonna be looking for, maybe that could take a hit, on that. Now, Hall of Fame. So we got our Hall of Fame announcements. We got three new first-year eligible guys that are eligible for the NFL Hall of Fame. One of them being Darrelle Revis. We also have offensive lineman was Joe Thomas and Dwight Freeney, defensive end Dwight Freeney. These guys are eligible. Could any of them get in first ballot? First ballot. And out of the three, I think the Hall will probably have them wait. But if there is one person that might can get in there, I think it probably would be Dwight Freeney, right? And here's the things. We're really nitpicking here, because it's not like you're going to say Darrelle Revis' career was better than Joe Thomas and Dwight Freeney's career was better than, Darrelle Revis. One, they all play different positions, but two, they're all in the top category, at their position, So we're really nitpicking here. But if there is a person that I think, and it helps out. I know Darrelle Revis won the Super Bowl, but I think for Dwight Freeney at the defensive end position with some of the other guys that are already in there that's eligible, I think that might catapult him, even though it's supposed to be about just individual accomplishment. But I think that Super Bowl could, help him out. But I do think they'll probably go with some other guys. You got guys like Darren Woodson, you got Torrey Holt, Reggie Wayne, Jared Allen. There's some other guys that I think will probably get in this year. and we don't have that surefire one, first ballot Hall of Fame, which to me, I already said all of them should just get in. I mean, they're all Hall of Famers. Why are we making them wait in comparison? But that's just my thought, on it. But I do think that if anybody could possibly get in, it would probably be Dwight Freeney being the first ballot. But it's a major accomplishment to be in the finalists, to be first ballot eligible anyway. So congratulations to everybody that's in it, and actually everybody that's eligible first time as well. So here we are, ladies and gentlemen. I told you I had something for you. I said I got a big L, and we're going to start 2023 off just like this, right? I'm not going to tell you about it just yet. I know Lopan is itchy on the trigger finger right now. So I'm going to just say, ladies and gentlemen, for 2023, here is the first Big L.
And you are one pathetic loser.
Let's go.
We're gonna see the best collection of losers this park's seen for many a year.
You made me feel like a loser!
La loser.
Le who? The her.
Oh, new year, same old stuff that we're up to. The Big L Award, which is the Big Loser Award, where we gives out an award for somebody that just does something loserish, right? So, giving out the first Big L Award for 2023, man. Look, we talked about the NBA and all the stuff that be going on. And one of the things that goes on in the NBA are, promotions and, during timeout breaks, halftime shows, all that stuff. So one of the things that has become very, very popular are these half-court shots, right? Half-court shots, fans get an opportunity. You get a half-court shot because a half-court shot, well, for Steph, it's not hard, and some of these other, like Buddy Hield and everything. But, but for most of us, half-court shots are not automatic shots. Let's just say that, right? So they put these people out there. Normally, it seems like they look for people that's not, athletically gifted, but they put people out there. And they say, you know what? If you hit half court, man, we're going to give you some money. We're going to give you some money. Well, there was a game that went on in Indiana, Pacers game, and I want you to see this happen.
Here we go. 10 seconds. Up to $500 if he hits this one. Yes, baby! The Hoosier Lottery Shootout. Nathaniel, $500 and a prize pack from the Hoosier Lottery. Congratulations.
Did you hear that? $500 for a half-court shot, and then they talking about a gift pack. Who put this together? Who put this together for the Indiana Pacers to where this brother went out there, hit a half-court shot, and it $500? That's it. Look, I said $500 to my sister who knows nothing about basketball, and she gave me the $500. That's it. Yeah. So, and the reason why, ladies and gentlemen, listen to this. I said, you know what? This can't possibly be true, right? There's some other folks that's out there offering $500. It's completely wrong, right? There have been people that gave out these are NBA games. $5,000, $10,000, $75,000, $95,000. There's someone that even gave away a BMW, a car, and other forms of cars, Toyotas, and and everything. $500? That's all you got? That's it? And then I don't know if you noticed at the end, and I'm gonna play it for you. Watch it one more time. Play it for you.
Here we go. 10 seconds. Up to $500 if he hits this one. Yes, baby! The Hoosier Lottery Shootout. Nathaniel, $500 and a prize pack from the Hoosier Lottery. Congratulations.
You're gonna also end that with playing Ja Rule's Living It Up? $500, living it up? He might be able to get home on Uber for $500. Look, I know we're talking about a recession and inflations and all that stuff, but I'm sure somebody could have kicked in a little bit more than just $500 and then some other gift pack and all that stuff. No, thousands. We need thousands of dollars, man. So for whoever put together that half court thing, and I'm going to put it on the Pacers because they signed off on it, you got to take this big L.
See? Another loser.
Indeed as well, Lopan. $500? $500? Oh, no. Don't do me like that. Oh, man. Got the brother. He done took off his shirt because he got his undershirt on over there so he could get flexible and hit the shot or whatever. Yeah, so that's it. That's the first Big L and the first show for the Wait a Minute show in 2023. So hopefully you enjoyed it, ladies and gentlemen. I did, man. Shouts out to Demar Hamlin once again, man. Keep getting better out there, bro. Everybody is rooting for you. You know everybody is cheering for you, man. Do your thing, man. You know you're going to handle business like you need to handle business. And everybody else, man, start your year off right, man. Start your year off right. Continue what you did as you finish strong, and continue that into the beginning of the stages of 2023. Don't slow down for anybody. Keep pushing it. Keep your pedal to the metal. And don't let anybody tell you that you can't, right? So we're going to go ahead and get out of here, man. Everybody. Also, congratulate your boy. Fantasy football champion once again. Yes! I think my wife just found out. Whoops. People who play fantasy football know what I'm talking about. But everyone, be safe out there. Be good, man. Have a good rest of the year. Watch some football, and I'll holler at y'all next week. Be good, and we'll do it all over again. So for your man, Jelani JB Bodie, host of this thing called The Wait a Minute Show, I'll holler at y'all later. Two things as always. Stay positive and push forward. Lopez, let's get out of here.